Hello. So this reading is for the week of September 13th. Now, there's not a lot going on in the skies this week, except for we are definitely deep into Mercury retrograde. Hence, I have tried to film this video 2 times already and it hasn't worked. That's why it'll be out today, hopefully, three's a charm, on Wednesday. Okay, let's see what energies support us this week. Oh, it's the Fool card. This is the very first card in the entire tarot deck. This means that new horizons, new projects, new connections, also taking a calculated risk for a wish that you have is supported. This card says there are no guaranteed outcomes, but usually the great things in life don't come without taking some sort of risk. This is the card that governs beginner's luck. So that is what supports us this week. The card that is in the challenge position is Justice. Now that's very interesting. How I'm going to read this is that this will be a week of instant karma. So please, everybody, make sure your intentions are good and that, you know, understand you're really going to reap what you sow this week. So try to be honest, okay? In terms of relationship, we have this interesting energy. I think it sort of goes hand in hand with the Fool card. It means sometimes you need to put in energy to something if you want to see a new phase, a new relationship, a new dynamic. You have to work at it. This card always is about front loading the labor. It means that you have to actually do the work, earn the trust, invest in the thing before you see your rewards, and that is in relationships this week. In terms of what I will call what you do with your time, whether that's your career, your job, a project, we have a card that's a 5. 5s always are a bit challenging. It really means that you may have to work some things out. I will say for all of us, let's be mindful of our money this week, meaning I would not overspend or spend frivolously. I mean, especially with this Justice card, because it's like if you don't have the money, you don't want to spend it this week, okay? Definitely too, if you're actually working on something, make sure you're doing self-care, because sometimes this means that the reserves are running low, and that can be energetically as well. All right, let's see what else is going on. We start with the Strength card. This is a beautiful card. It really has to do with self-acceptance, and it is an energy that says perfectionism is a myth, you know, in its least, you know, damaging form. It just will lend a level of anxiety to life if you're trying to be perfect. It can be very damaging though. It could be a way to punish yourself for your failings. It can also be an excuse as to why you're not doing anything because everything has to be perfect. So that's on the more negative side of this. On the positive side, this is just saying you are great the way you are, and all parts of yourself are acceptable and deserve to be paid attention to. Some of you may be getting some good news this week. That's good. Since we are in a retrograde, it may be related to something that you did in the past and now you're going to be paid for it, or you applied for something and you get positive feedback. So a lot of us will be getting something either in the mail or email or voicemail that we've been wanting to hear. The Chariot's up here hanging around. It is just a really big message to us about the role that willpower plays in our life. And the really interesting connection here is that we're standing on the Lovers, and Lovers has to do with commitment, and this is in the past. So some of us may have committed to something in the past, and this week, especially with this good news, this through line here, we may be hearing really good news about something that we committed to and have used our willpower to achieve. Now, in a general sense, the Chariot is about the balance between short-term gratification and long-term goals. So let's check in and make sure that balance is working, because we have a couple cards sometimes that lend themselves to distraction, and that's in our outcome. I would say both of these are like, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling stagnant, and what are you doing to like sort of move away from that emotion. Probably the best thing you can do at this reading is grab your sword and cut through some haze and just make a move. We have an interesting outcome. This is the Seven of Wands, and it's just saying, don't be impatient, especially this is the Seven of Pentacles. Don't be impatient, especially since we're under such a strong retrograde. Just take a deep breath, know that you have been doing the best you can, and that you can't force things to happen exactly when you want them to happen. This can be in relationship, this can be in career, it can be in basically anything, health. You know, this is the part of the journey where you planted the seeds, you're nurturing the seeds, but you can't make them grow any faster than they want to. And for some of us this week, that's going to be bringing up some stuff about self-worth, about having to be an adult, because you know, most of us inside are still children who want what we want when we want it. But this week, especially because it's retrograde, we might have to just have faith that we will be getting it. And like adults, we have to be patient and invest time and energy into growing things so we can have those things, right? So we can harvest them. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, check back in next week. Hopefully, I'll be on time. And please subscribe. All right. Have a good week.